and to Hawaii Global Peace Forum, this remarkable pro-democracy icon and Nobel Prize laureate, Aung San Suu Kyi. Which has inspired the next generation of peacekeepers gathered at this Rotary Peace Forum and around the world. She is being recognized tonight with the presentation of the Hawaii Peace Award. This handcrafted Hawaiian feather leg is a cherished symbol of nobility. It represents eternity, wholeness, and the equality of all in a peaceful state. The colors of the feathers, red, yellow, and white, from the indigenous Hawaiian birds, symbolizes the power of flight that can reach the heavens, and flying higher can see far beyond the human view. The feathers are filled with the mana, or spiritual strength. It is the strength, courage, love, and commitment of the recipient of the Hawaii Peace Award that we honor tonight. Please welcome to the stage, Aung San Suu Kyi.
Thank you very much for your very warm welcome. This is the first time I've ever spoken at a Rotary gathering, and I'm very pleased that this gathering is taking place here. I will be speaking on the vision of future Burma, peace and prosperity. Peace and prosperity is what we all want, both. Being humans, we're always a little greedy. We want peace, we want prosperity, and we always hope that we get them in the right balance. And this is mainly what my speech is about. It is my great honor to be here today at the Rotary Global Peace Forum and to address you on my vision of peace and prosperity for Burma. I must start by thanking Rotary International for inviting me, and I congratulate all Rotarians worldwide on your club's tremendous achievements. Rotary's stated purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. These are valuable and valiant aims that I fully endorse and support. Yours is a secular organization which prides itself on being open to all persons, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, or political preference. I understand that there are well over 30,000 Rotary clubs worldwide and well over 1 million members. I was told 2 million by the President. Not only is it a significant success to have achieved such scale, but it also means that your organization can be a significant force for good in the world. Rotary's motto of service above self is one that everyone would benefit from following. Until recently, there have been no Rotary clubs in Burma, a reflection of how isolated our country had become. However, I understand that in a multi-club venture started by the Newport Urban Club in California and the Maasai Rotary Club in Thailand, Rotary has had a presence in Burma in building water systems for orphanages. Very necessary. I thank you for this much-needed contribution to some of the most needy in our country. We have gathered for a global peace forum. You have told me that this is an opportunity for people of different ages from different parts of the world to gather together, share ideas, and develop strategies to progress towards a more peaceful world. This particular forum in Honolulu is specifically intended to encourage the next generation of leaders and decision makers to step forward, share their dreams, and start shaping the future. I speak now to this generation of young people in high schools and universities. With your computer and social media skills, you are ideally placed to share ideas and projects with each other and with the world. I implore you to use this peace forum to empower yourselves and to give you the confidence that your ideas really can change the world. I encourage you to pursue the desired outcomes for the Peace Forum, which include taking a global perspective and believing that you can be catalysts for peace, developing community and global peace projects, establishing bonds of friendship and collaboration, and continuing participation in the projects that are developed as a result of this collaboration so that they become a springboard for change. Before proceeding further, I must say a few words about the venue for this Peace Forum. We are fortunate to be here in Hawaii, both because it is one of the world's true idols and because there is much we can learn from it in terms of cooperation and tolerance. This is one of the most racially diverse places in the world. In fact, there is no majority. Everyone is part of a minority. In the 2010 census, more than 23% of the population claimed multi-ethnic backgrounds, far more than any other state in America. The ethnic groups in Hawaii include Native Hawaiians, Caucasians, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Filipino, Vietnamese, and others, including Burmese. As Hawaii has become a home to many different ethnic groups in the last 200 years, each ethnic group has added elements of its own culture to local life and added to the richness of this place. I'm told that people who live in Hawaii have the aloha spirit. I've been hearing about it for the last 2 days. They share a mutual respect for one another, in which caring and openness are practiced. As I've already found, there is genuine warmth, helpfulness, and kindness in everyday relations. This attitude stems from the tolerance of strangers in the old native Hawaiian culture. People from elsewhere may come to Hawaii with racial predispositions, but I'm told hope that most learn soon enough that to exist comfortably in Hawaii, they must practice local tolerance. It is often said that there are two types of Hawaiians, those of Hawaiian blood and those who are Hawaiian at heart. Another lesson that can be drawn from Hawaii is that of healing. The attack on Pearl Harbor on 7th January 1941 was deadly. Over 2,400 people were killed and over 1,200 wounded, a significant portion of them being civilians. Martial law was imposed in Hawaii for the remainder of the war. It served as a transit point for hundreds of thousands of servicemen en route to battle and, in too many cases, to death. Japanese families who had settled in Hawaii for generations were torn apart. And yet, in the post-war years, Hawaii rapidly rebuilt itself. Tourism flourished, there was an enormous economic boom, labor conditions improved, and in 1959, Hawaii was admitted as the 50th state of the United States of America. In some respects, we could say that my country, Burma, is not unlike Hawaii. We benefit from a rich diversity of ethnic groups. Our traditional culture is one of hospitality and warmth. We have experienced a period of extreme suffering and are in need of healing. We can look to Hawaii's progress and achievement as a beacon of hope for ourselves. And that leads me to the subject of my address to you today, which is my vision of Burma built on peace and prosperity. Various specific subjects have been suggested to me, and as they're all sensible, and as I have been allowed the luxury of time, I will aim to cover each of them. However, before doing so, I will set the scene in terms of the current situation in Burma. I will borrow from comments I have made in the past and will reiterate some of the key themes from my Nobel lecture in Oslo on 16 June 2012. However, I will aim to ensure that this is more by way of update than of repetition. During my Nobel speech, I mentioned that fires of suffering and strife were raging around the world. Sadly, that remains the case. As I said then, Burma is a country of many ethnic nationalities, and faith in its future can be founded only on a true spirit of union. Since we achieved independence in 1948, there never has been a time when we could claim the whole country was at peace. We have not been able to develop the trust and understanding necessary to remove causes of conflict. Hopes were raised by ceasefires that were maintained from the early 1990s until 2010, when those broke down over the course of a few months. One unconsidered move can be enough to remove long-standing ceasefires. In recent months, negotiations between the government and ethnic nationality forces have been making progress on the one hand, but conflict continues on the other. We hope that ceasefire agreements will lead to political settlements founded on the aspirations of the peoples and the spirit of union. While we have achieved peace in parts of Burma, conflict elsewhere has escalated. A 17-year ceasefire between the government and Kachin in the north of our country collapsed in June 2011. Several rounds of talk have yielded little progress, with both sides saying they are defending themselves from the other in the ongoing violence. In recent weeks, fighting between government troops and the Kachin Independence Army, or KIA, has been ongoing every day. Some estimates suggest that over 100,000 people have been displaced. In late December last year, the military issued an ultimatum to Kachin fighters to stop blocking a vital route taken by government troops or face a fierce attack. The ultimatum went unanswered, and a few days later, government fighter jets and helicopters took part in an air assault on some of the rebel positions near the town of Liza. As I understand it, the fighting near Liza continues almost up to this moment. The last news I received from Burma was that fighting was going on in that area. As is always the case in such conflicts, innocent civilians are caught up in the conflict. Liza is currently home to tens of thousands of refugees who are suffering from food shortages because of the fighting. To the west, communal violence has continued and worsened, but for the moment, it is not on a large scale. In June of last year, this violence led to the displacement of tens of thousands. In October last year, there was a second spasm of violence. Within days, it has spread to 9 of Rakhine's states, 17 townships. Atrocities were committed by both sides. Whatever the historical backdrop and whatever the grievance, there cannot be justification for such violence. Until all communities can feel secure under the rule of just laws, we cannot hope to restore peace and harmony. The fighting in the north of Burma and the communal unrest in the west highlight the fact that we still have a long way to go. However, even in these setbacks, there have been glimmerings of hope and improvement. Increasingly, peoples all over the country are beginning to accept that what goes on in the north and the west is the concern of us all. I would like to repeat again some of the comments I made during my Nobel lecture. The peace of our world is indivisible. As long as negative forces are getting the better of positive forces anywhere, we are all at risk. It may be questioned whether all negative forces could ever be removed. The simple answer is no. It is in human nature to contain both the positive and the negative. However, it is also within human capability to work to reinforce the positive and to minimize or neutralize the negative. Absolute peace in our world is an unattainable goal, but it is one towards which we must continue to journey, our eyes fixed on it as a traveler in a desert fixes his eyes on the one guiding star that will lead him to salvation. Even if we do not achieve peace, perfect peace on earth, because perfect peace is not of this earth, common endeavors to gain peace will unite individuals and nations in trust and friendship and help to make our human community safer and kinder. I use the word kinder after careful deliberation. This morning I talked about compassion. Kindness and compassion are very close. They might almost be said to be synonymous. I must say that after careful deliberation of many years, I used the word kindness in my Nobel speech. Of the sweets of adversity, and let me say that these are not numerous, I have found the sweetest, the most precious of all, is the lesson I learned on the value of kindness. Every kindness I received, small or big, convinced me that there could never be enough of it in our world. To be kind is to respond with sensitivity and human warmth to the hopes and needs of others. Even the briefest touch of kindness can lighten a heavy heart. Kindness can change the lives of people, not just those who receive it, but those who practice it as well. Ultimately, our aim should be to create a world free from the displaced, the homeless, and the hopeless, a world of which each and every corner is a true sanctuary where the inhabitants can have the freedom and the capacity to live in peace. Every thought, every word, and every action that adds to the positive and the wholesome is a contribution to peace.